Guys, you know that I don't do short-term stock price predictions, but there's so many people that asking for it in the live streams, in the comments. It's haunting me in my dreams. So guys, here is your video, what I think where space stock will be towards the end of the year. Okay guys, let's first assess the situation, okay? Because I think if you are a space investor, then you are very happy over the last 30 days. The month was just so incredible for us, and it's still not the end of the month, and it's still not the end of the rally, because so many people are betting on a share price of 28 or more in the December months. And this is because of a couple of things. First of all, let's have a look how the stock performed over the last couple of weeks. And here you see, not even when we were at 21.77, not even a canceling or rescheduling of the new test flight could bring the stock down. The stock just plumped for a bit and then went back higher and higher. And we are now at past $23 per share. And what is important is that this drives the situation, the upcoming test flight, but also, you know, the option market is just betting on a higher pricing, and that's why, you know, as more options are being traded, as more options will be executed at some point, as more stocks will be bought, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. So as it's how it seems, it's, you know, quite interesting where the stock is heading. And for us as space investors, this is the best chart outlook that we can see, right? I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, from the 23rd of October till the 20th of November, we could gain 20%. So this is really, really great. So let's dive further in the catalysts that can bring the stock even higher. First, let's talk about the obvious catalysts that can bring the stock to a higher level towards the end of the year. And I think the end year price target for space is around 30. So we have a nice wiggle room to go higher, because I think that after a stock goes to a certain level and you have just more upcoming catalysts, I think that this is something that can bring the stock to the level above the recent high. Okay, so let's say we had the recent high, which was 27 something when Michael Kohlgazer was announced. Then we had the drawback to $17, $18, and then, you know, we are now trying to hit this again. And with the catalyst of the test flight that everyone is expecting, this could bring the stock higher. But obviously, not only the test flight is mandatory, but I think what could be an unexpected catalyst could be obviously an update, for example, on the Mach 3. Because think about it, the CEO was changed, and George Whiteside is, my beliefs and my understanding, moved to the other team that is working on the Mach 3 project. So they are constantly working on that. So I would love to see an update obviously on this front, and this would be, you know, another 10-20% catalyst of the space stock. Okay, so think about that we have this known catalyst, but we have also this unknown catalysts, and therefore I think both need to be considered. However, you know, the probability of the Mach 3 update, I think, is maybe between 10 and 15%, so very low, but, you know, expect the unexpected. Therefore I want to mention it. And with that said, you know where we can go towards the end of the year, and I think there's technical wise also no big obstacle, because we are now over the recent resistance, which was around $23.50, $24 per stock. So we are way over that, and now the next thing should be much higher. So I think, you know, we are well established, so let's dive into the risks. Now the question is also, what are the risks involved, right? I mean, let's say there is now a lot of catalysts that can bring the stock to 30 and above. But what are the risks that can bring the stock down? Because a couple of times already we saw the same happening. The stock goes to 24, 25, 26, 27, goes back to 17, okay? Then it goes back to 22 levels, goes back to 18. And so on and so forth. So this volatility stays with us like it's the shadow of us, okay? And if you're thinking about the risk involved, then obviously, you know, a further extension of the lockdown is another, neck breaker for the timeline. Because as you know, the test flight will be on the end of Q1. Now, as we have already 2 weeks and maybe plus another week of delay because of the lockdown in New Mexico, maybe we will see that the overall Richard Branson flight will be pushed to Q2, which would be amazing because then the stock will go down, for sure it will go down, and then we can buy for lower. Because as you have seen now, the New Mexico lockdown was announced, and then directly the stock tanked 10% and then just recovered because the people are understanding, okay, well, this is temporary. This has nothing to do with a delay caused by Virgin Galactic team. So why the stock should be punished by 10%? That's not logical. That's not rational. So let's go back into the stock, or now it's a great time to go into the stock. So this is the thinking that you need to bring to the table if you're investing into space. Always thinking, you know, how this event will actually lead to impacting the stock price, okay? This is very, very important, guys. This is very, very important. Always have a different kind of scenarios that shows you what could happen to the stock price, okay? And another one that I think is the, you know, smaller risk is actually, you know, if they really should have some technical issues or need another test flight, okay? So currently planned, there's the next test flight where they will have, you know, 2 test pilots, mannequins, and the NASA payload. Then they could have some technical issues, or they could have some more data that they want to collect, or the FAA want to have it. Then maybe they have to make another test flight before making then the final test flight, which will be, you know, with 4 employees as test clients into the spaceship. So this will be quite interesting, okay? If there must be another test flight, an unexpected test flight, because always when you listen to the conference calls, there's always this insurance that they build in, okay? They said, you know, according to this timeline, you know, we have to do 1, 2, 3, but of course, if there's anything else, then, you know, we need to follow. So this always tells you, you know, it's not like, obviously nothing is certain in life, but especially this kind of hard engineering things are not certain at all, guys, okay? If you worked in engineering before, you know that, you know, another thing come up, or they need to think about the safety more, or they need to think about to change some things before they start the operation. So there's many things to consider, guys. So this could be an additional risk as well. In the conclusion, I would like to say and ask for the subscribe button, okay? Smash it, and smash also the ring beside it, because this will inform you about every new space vlog that I'm doing here on this channel. Now, let's talk about the risks involved, because while we still have a lot of potential to go higher with space stock and Virgin Galactic, and with the new news coming in, obviously the stock has a great potential to go 10, 20, 30% this year. And nevertheless, obviously, guys, with every small bad news, you know, because think about it, the news for this company is very limited, right? I mean, we either get some stock news that people are selling or buying stocks, or we get an update for the missions. That's it, okay? There's no like new product or whatever. So the news is very limited in this very small window that we are operating in, okay? And if there is any bad news coming, obviously, delay, whatever we talked about in the risk section, I think that it's important to understand that it's very, very volatile, okay? This stock will stay volatile for the next couple of years, guys, okay? I can imagine the stock goes up, 40, 50 in the next couple of months, specifically after the test flight or the final test flight with Richard Branson, but it also can happen, this is a risk for this company that is so doing cutting edge technology, that if any technical failure of a flight, this would be devastating for the stock, okay? There may be 50% less. So this is the huge risk that you need to understand that you are getting into. However, every business has risks. So I don't know where you drive your, pro and con opportunities here, but I always thinking, okay, can this stock 10x my money? And if yes, which risks are involved and how is the probability of this risk? And therefore I'm going into this thinking for every single stock. I'm going into it. I mean, Tesla was very, very, very close to bankruptcy a couple of times, right? Just before the ramp up of the Model 3, during the ramp up, but still they made it, right? So it's not a question really that, only small startups or small companies can fail, but also, big companies, even if they don't innovate, have those risks. So risk involved, but still, finally, I think that we see a stock of maybe $30 towards the end of the year with all the positive news brought in by Virgin Galactic team. So take care and make sure that you are having your seatbelt fastened, because this will be a hell of a ride.